What's up, wrestling fans? It is Joe. It is late. We are not that far away from recording the episode of Corrupted Podcast, but because I sort of took the day off. Let's put it that way. I played a lot of Diablo today. It was like a relaxing day. Mostly the kids were with their grandmother, and I just lazily play video games all day, which I haven't done in a long time. But it was fun. But there was a lot of wrestling news today, and we're going to get to a lot of it tomorrow. But right now, I do have some things I want to speak about. And I do want to remind you that if you're a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show, you guys can hear Corrupted Podcast live tonight at 1 a.m., which is in about an hour from now in my time, here in the U.S. Eastern Standard Time. First of all, there's a lot of rumors going around about Vince McMahon. Could be the reason why SmackDown, what was it called? Talking Smack was canceled. And they canceled it because they didn't like the realism of it. They thought it was screwing up other stuff. There's all these different reports. But basically not the reason that they give, which is that, nobody really was watching it. I can say that I did lose a little bit of interest in it, and I would think the interest would drop a little bit. But I can say I do remember when there was those weeks where people would say, you have to watch Talking Smack. And more recently, it's been like, hey, did you watch Talking Smack? He said this and that, and it was pretty good, but the buzz wasn't the same as those first few months or so. So I could see that being true, but there are all these just reports absolutely going crazy right now about Vince McMahon pulling the plug. A lot of hate for Vince McMahon in the comment sections, and everybody is... whether it's true or not true, people have pretty much chosen it to be true and said, people aren't happy, but, I don't know what the numbers were. I don't know what they were. Earlier today, I put out a poll and said, hey, guys, I'm playing Diablo all day. Should I stream it on Twitch? And 60% of you voted no. So rather than me actually go live, I was going live anyway. I was going to be doing it anyway. People voted no, which was weird. So I can't figure out if people that listen to my show don't really like me, or if there's just most people that listen to me are just troll bags, or if people just didn't want me to go live for some reason. I don't know why. Actually, the poll still stands at 60% no. So I didn't go live, and that 40% was like, why don't you just go live? What the fuck? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Over 100 of you guys said you didn't want me to. So you didn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I don't know. So I don't know what that's about. So I canceled the idea of streaming, and I just continued to play by myself instead of going live with it. So maybe the WWE thought similar, and they were like, you know what? No one's watching this shit. So the few of you that are watching can get mad, but the rest of you won't watching. So maybe that's what WWE thinks. We got Buff Bagwell saying that Vince McMahon is Satan. That's pretty funny. He talks about, they said, describing Vince McMahon as boss, he says Satan. And then he says, this was on a Cult of Whatever, I guess he was on. He said, what people don't realize is that they put Booker T and myself as the main event on Monday Night Raw for the WCW World title in Seattle, Washington, with all the odds against us. A week later, WWE, we were going to Atlanta, Georgia. Why could they have not waited 7 days and put Booker versus Bagwell for the WCW title in Atlanta, which was the home of WCW? My honest opinion is that we were set up to fail. It didn't work, and we knew we should have been the main event. We shouldn't have been the main event, he says. We knew there was something wrong about it, but you don't ask questions in this business. You just go and do what you're told. Well, I mean, that's an interesting theory. I mean, it was odd at the time. It was not a good... It was like their match was wrestled and booked almost like it was a match that should have happened in the middle of the show or to start the show in a way. But, Booker T went on to be a star. Bagwell didn't. That WCW championship went on to be the world title in the WWE. They kept that. So the only thing they didn't keep was Buff Bagwell. So I guess, you have to blame somebody. Is that why they blamed Buff Bagwell? I don't know. They didn't like what they saw out of him. He says, he talks about the New Blood stable in WCW. I think the New Blood would have made it, but at the time, AOL Time Warner didn't want to be a part of professional wrestling anymore. Blah, 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 blah. He called Vince McMahon Satan. I guess that makes headlines. So rather than make a video saying, Buff Bagwell calls Vince McMahon Satan, and then have to talk to you guys about it for like 30 seconds, I figured I'd throw it into this news that we're talking about right now. The broken gimmick continues to be fought over, and that continues to drive me insane. I think the gimmick is being spoiled every day. With every day that goes by that it's not, the Hardys aren't doing it, it's spoiled. With every day that goes by where they bring it up but they're not broken, it's spoiled. Because you want to believe that Matt Hardy is this character, this crazy person, this crazy character, and they are whatever. But by them mentioning it when they're normal, it takes away from the character. It takes away from what they're doing. It makes it worse. Maybe not for the 70% that don't know what the fuck they're doing, but for the people that do know what they're doing, to me, it makes it worse. And to be honest, what's going to happen is, eventually they're going to become broken maybe, and it will be, and I'll hate it, So I will have gone months with just wishing they were broken, and then starting to get cringy by it, feel cringy about it, and then they're going to become it, and it's all going to have worn off, and WWE's version of it will be bad anyway. And then we'll just think back and go, damn. Remember when we were like, wow, imagine if this would go on in the WWE, but little did we know, the best was there. The best was that summer in TNA in 2016, where the final deletions happened, and Matt Hardy went from being a crazy person one week to being a genius a few weeks later once everybody caught on, to having the entire gimmick and idea completely raped when they left TNA. Almost unbelievable. What do you guys think about all this? Leave in the comments below. We'll be doing Corrupted Podcast in a few minutes. We'll see you there for the patrons that are patrons. Leave a comment down below. Is there wrestling news that you want me to talk about tomorrow? Leave it in the comments down there. That way I can read it and I can add it to what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Probably do an hour show tomorrow. Maybe 2 hours. I don't know. Could be 2 hours. So much shit. Bye.